In this video and in the next series of videos, we're going to learn to code with AI. This is targeted towards beginners with little to no coding experience. Let's get started. Come to code.strivemath.com, follow along with the link in the description. You're going to come to this AI tab, and this is where we're going to be speaking to our AI guy. The thing we're going to try and build today is this house. So I'm going to go to AI and be code me a house. And let's see what the AI comes up with. So the AI has given me all of this code. I'm going to select all of it. I'm going to say Command C or Control C. I'm going to select all of my code here, get rid of it, paste. Let's see what happens. There's our house. Perfect. Okay. But as you can see, we have a little bit of a problem. Our house is upside down. And unless you want to be living on the roof, this is not ideal. So before I continue, one thing I want to say, the code that you got here is almost certainly different to the code that I got. That's because AI does not give the same answer every time. So if I ask this question 10 different times, I'm going to get 10 different houses. We need to give the AI a little bit more context to make sure it is giving us the answer that we need. And the first thing we need to tell it is, hey, I'm a beginner. I don't really know how to code, because maybe it gave you code in blocks or just gave you code and you needed to add it to the end. You don't necessarily know where to add your code. So one thing we can do to the AI is tell it, I'm a beginner. Please give me the full code. Don't give me code in chunks. So this is my prompt. I'm a beginner. Please keep things simple. And when you give me code, please give me all the code I need to copy paste. So if you do this and your code previously came out in blocks or chunks, you should now get your code in one go. You should be able to select all of it and copy paste it. But now let's fix this problem with the house being upside down. I don't want to live on the roof. The way in which we can fix this is by telling the AI, hey, my house is upside down. Please flip it. So I can say, hey, my house is upside down. Please flip it. And let's see what code we get from this. Okay, we've got our code. I'm going to again copy paste all of it. Put that in here and let's see what we get. Okay, so right now we have now fixed. So no, we haven't fixed anything. It looks so much worse. But this is a great opportunity, because now what we need to be able to do to the AI is be very specific on how we want to fix it. We need to essentially explain step by step exactly what we need to do. So the first thing, and let's go step by step. The first thing is that the roof of the house is pointing down. So let's ask it if we can get the tip of the house to flip its direction. So the prompt I'm going to try here is going to tell it, hey, the AI, it doesn't look right. The corner of the roof is pointing down. Can you flip it so it points upwards? So notice I'm giving it a lot of detail. And this is another thing with AI. You have to be incredibly specific. So I'm telling it doesn't look right. And I'm talking about the roof of the house. You can say the triangle that represents the roof is pointing down. Can you flip it so it points upwards? The more specific you can be, the more likely you are to be able to get a correct answer. So got a whole bunch of code. Let's copy paste it and test if we are right. Yes, it took so many takes to get. I'm so happy that this worked. So now we have fixed it. And now it looks a little bit more like a face. So we still need to fix the windows and the door. So let's be specific. The door isn't correct. Can you put it at the bottom of the house? And you also want to make it a bit longer. It's quite small. So we want to say, and make it long. So notice for everything, you have to be just highlighting how specific you need to be in order to get what you're looking for. Okay, we have our code, same story. Copy paste all of it, put it in here. Let's see what we get. Cool, we've got a longer house. I like it. Right now though, okay, look, it's far away from this guy. I won't lie, but we're making progress. Let's do some of the background things. So let's add a few things. Let's see how AI responds when we're trying to ask it to do multiple things. So let's ask for a sun, let's ask for a blue background, and let's ask for a chimney with smoke. So one is the add a sun in the top left corner. Two is give the house a chimney. with smoke. And then 3, what was 3? Put the house on some land, some green land. Let's see what we get from this. So one thing you'll notice immediately, the more things we add, the longer it's going to take because the more code the AI needs to start generating. Just part of the game. If you want to be fussy, you're going to have to learn to code so you can just be very quick and ask for particular pieces. But since we don't know how to code, we need all of it. Again, copy all of that, select our existing code, put it in there. Cool. Okay. We've made progress. So we've got a chimney. We do not have green land. We have a green sky and we have a sun. Let's see what we can do to make this better. So notice we needed to be more specific. If we wanted the sun to look like this, we need to say, hey, only show 3/4 of the sun, only show a portion of the sun, have the rest off the screen. So let's start with that. For the sun, put it in the top left corner, make it bigger, and only show 3/4 of it. 3/4 of it. I spelled quarters incorrectly. Okay, it's finally finished with all the code. I'm gonna select it all. Same vibe. Copy it. Paste it. This is that. You ask for what you want and you get it. We asked for 3/4, it gave it. I was wrong. We only want 1/4 of it. And we still need it so that it's kind of hidden. So this is an example. We get what we want, but because we weren't prompting correctly, we weren't being specific enough, we weren't getting what we wanted. So let's try that one more time. Okay, so the prompt I'm going to try is make the sun 3x bigger. Only the... Yeah, so I've come up with a prompt. Make the sun 3 times bigger and only show the bottom right corner of the sun. The rest of the sun should be off the screen. Let's see. Let's give this. Let's give it a test. We got our code. Same as always. Copy, paste it, and it's gone. Okay, we've lost the sun. So this might be a good opportunity to now say, okay, if you don't know how to code, you will not be able to spot this. Like, we can try. So we can keep going to the AI and being like, okay, what is wrong? Why is this not working? But ultimately, it's going to be far more preferable if you understand what's happening such that you would be able to debug the code. And this is also a good point. If I keep trying to add complexity, let's say I want to animate the smoke. If I want to make the house jump every time, if I want to have a stampede of elephants coming through, everything that I add that is more complex gives more of an opportunity for something to break. And I would therefore really recommend that you only ask for features and you specify that you only get code that you understand. So let's go for this ask arc thing. So here you can see in the code, it's giving you maybe this complicated line of code called arc. Let's say you don't know arc. Maybe you know the command circle. Circle is a more achievable command. So we can be like, and say, hey, it's not working. So the prompt I then gave is say, hey, it's not working. I'm a beginner and I don't understand arc. Can we use circle instead? So we're asking it to use simpler commands of things that you are more likely to understand that's within your kind of ability of coding. So again, I've got all my code. I'm going to copy paste it. Let's see if we get our sun back. We don't get our sun back. So we don't have our sun back. Let's try and see if we can get the AI to fix it. We could just say, I don't see the sun. But it might be more useful as well if you try and give it a reason why, give it some sort of direction on how to fix it. And one idea I had is, okay, maybe it's just too small, or maybe it's just way too far off the screen. So what I'm going to say is, I can't see the sun. Can you make it 5 times bigger? Okay, so my idea didn't work. I took the code that it generated from this, and I still don't see the sun. This is an opportunity where we can try and get it. So we tried to debug for it. We thought, okay, maybe if it's big, we can try ask the AI to debug itself. So the prompt I'm going to give it is, I still can't see the sun. Can you try fix it? Show your working step by step. This line, show your working step by step. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hated doing this when I was in math class. It was a pain. I was like, I know the answer. Why do I need to show every step? I just know it. But what we found when you give AI a prompt that asks it to show its working step by step, the quality of its answers and the quality of what it does works really well. So maybe it's also a lesson for you guys. Maybe you'll make less mistakes on your math test if you show your working step by step. Let's hope AI proves me right here. So it's given me a few suggestions and then gave me the code. Now, with the suggested change that AI gave me, we have our sun, but it doesn't quite look right. So we're making progress, but it's still not quite there. I'm going to leave you guys to try and keep going in order to prompt the AI to maybe give you a correct answer. But in reality, the easiest is if you would understand the way in which circle works. If we really wanted, so here, what this command is saying, draw me a circle at position 0, at position window height with a diameter of 800. If we wanted it to only take up top left corner of the screen, what we would need to do is draw it at x0, y window height. But if we know how to code, we would be able to very quickly tell what's going on here. In that, if we want the circle to be in the top left corner, we show 3/4 of it, all we need to do is we'll need to change the diameter of the circle of the sun to something like 200, something smaller. And we would get the correct answer given the code that was here. But obviously this is hard because the code that you have is probably completely different to mine. The thing I then want to add to this is just movement and adding a little bit more flair to our project. So I'm going to ask simply, can you animate the chimney smoke? So it gave me an answer, but I want to highlight a potential area that people get mixed up with. If you've never coded before, you need to pay attention that it said, here's the updated draw function. So if you just took all of this code that it gave you and I copy pasted it in, my program's going to fail. That's because I actually am missing a whole part of my code, which is the setup part. So you need to be able to also read what it's asking very clearly. So this is why we also said at the front, make sure to give me all of the code. And so you can ask it if you have an error, hey, I've got an error, what's going on? And maybe it'll be able to detect it for you. But it's better to be able to read and be like, here's the updated draw function. Oh, they're just updating draw. Copy paste draw. And I'm going to make sure to only replace my draw function over here and leave setup. As I scroll all the way. And there. So I want to highlight one thing that people might get mixed up with. Right now, the way that this gave me code is if I just copy pasted the code from this guy into what I have, I'm going to get an error or just nothing's going to happen. Why? Because it didn't give me all of the code. If I read the prompt carefully, it's saying, here's the updated draw function. And so now what we need to be able to do is be able to identify when it's giving us code that we just need to add on or replace all of our code. That's why at the beginning, we gave a really important prompt to say, give me all of the code. So that's the simplest way I can do this now is, hey, give me all of the code. Or if you do understand what is happening, then take the code that is only for this particular piece and copy paste it into the right space. So I'm going to go for the easy route. And after I've asked for all the code, I'm going to copy paste all of that into my code. And there we go. We have a house with some chimney smoke coming out. We went after this guy and we got this guy, reality versus expectations, but we made some good progress. If at any point your code stopped working or you just got so miserably lost, and like it might be at times better to start over, delete all of your code, start a new window, start afresh, because oftentimes the existing context that the AI has is going to make it start thinking some weird things. So keep trying up until a certain point, but if you keep going and it's not going in the direction you want, pause, restart, try again. I'm going to end the video here. We've made a house. So take whatever house you guys have been able to create with just AI prompting, go to our student Discord community. In the share channel, share your house, the code, and all the prompts you use to get there. Let's use one another to inspire us on the crazy ways we might be able to do this. And I think I might even learn a thing or two. So looking forward to seeing your submissions there.